Om Guru Om Guru Om Guru Om Om Guru Om Guru Om Om Guru Om Guru Om Guru Om Om Guru Om Guru Om Om Guru Om Guru Om Guru Om Om Guru Om Guru Om Om Guru Om Guru Om Guru Om Om Guru Om Guru Om Om Guru Om Guru Om Guru Om Om Guru Om Guru Om Om Guru Om Guru Om Guru Om Om Guru Om Guru Om. I bow to my Guru as the physical manifestation of God, and I bow to you as lesser manifestations of that same one God, and the only thing that makes you lesser is not your inner truth. In yourself, in your deeper self, you are the equal of every great master who ever lived. You're the equal of Rama and Krishna, because you are that. But in your present state, maybe not. I would say probably, if you were, you wouldn't be bothering to listen to my program. But I would like to read this. It's number 257. I was out at the desert with the Master, and he said to me one day, "Those who are with me, I never have any trouble with. Just a glance with the eyes is enough. It is much better when I can talk with the eyes. I just wilt when I have to scold outwardly. All those who are with me, most of them anyway, are saints from before." What he meant, I think, was all those who are in tune with me. "Sir," I said, "what about those who don't seem all that saintly?" "Well, some of them are fallen saints." "I was thinking of myself, sir," I explained. "It is better to have neither a superiority nor an inferiority complex," he replied. "Whatever you are, give it to God." You know, there's so many priceless gems of wisdom that came out to somehow, as it were, sideways, that yet if you meditate on them, and I meditated on his words for, well, many, many years. I've been with him more than 56 years now. And I've seen that many things which didn't seem to hold special meaning suddenly have revealed themselves as being very deep. This one is very deep, but you don't see how deep it is, because the surface is small, but it goes way down. What we have here is a teaching based also on his saying, which I read yesterday, that God sent me all these loves, Divine Mother sent me all these loves, all these souls, that I might drink her love in many hearts, the chalice of many cups, many hearts. This understanding, it's not as if all disciples had that love, just as God, who created us so that he might enjoy himself through many, does not find that joy in many, many people, finds it in few, really. My Guru, certainly not all his disciples were loving, but he felt a bouquet of love of all those who were, and all of them loved him to the extent that they were able. They had to expand the cup of their own love to receive more. There were a few who didn't really understand at all, and they had to leave and come back. And in this one, you get that picture on a broader scale, where all of them were devotees, and all of them, as he put it, were saints. But I think he must have meant those who were in tune with him, because some seemed quite far from him, and others were much less so. The important thing is not who you were, and that's the point he was making to me, not who you were or what you were in the before, but who you are right now and what you can give right now. And to have things beaten into you, it's a pity. I don't call myself a guru, but I have to be in a position, because my guru put me there, to help many people. And I know what he meant, to some extent, at least to my limited understanding, that you don't want to have to scold people. You don't want to have to express anger. Sometimes I do, but I love them inside. The thing is, they can't always respond. This is something that you have to be, not just think that the guru is going to do it all for you. You have to hold if I try to pour tea into a cup that you have and you've turned the cup upside down, it'll get all over your lap. Turn it right side up and I can fill the cup and you can drink it. Otherwise you'll have to try to slobber over your lap or something to get any drinking tea out of it. The thing is that you must hold your heart open. And that's what he meant by those who are in tune, those who are with me. And I do think that's what he meant, because he had plenty of trouble with plenty of people. So when he said, I never have trouble with, I think he meant those who are in tune. He didn't have trouble with them because they were ready to hear. They had the faith and the love. And they knew that even if he spoke hardly, or I shouldn't say hardly because that could mean hardly at all, harshly is what I really meant. He didn't mean it harshly, he did it for their welfare. A strange thing, though, in his life was that toward the end of his life, he became he seemed more impatient. It wasn't that he was impatient, but he used to say, there's little time, there's so little time, there's so much to finish. And he just didn't have time to waffle around with people's reasoning and questions and so on. And I remember I heard one of his disciples lamenting to others that it's so hard to be with him because I can't seem to do anything to please him. Well, I felt sorry for her, and I know what she meant, but he didn't do it with lack of love. That's the difference. He was trying to hurry her on in her growth so she would grow faster while she still had him. He was trying to get everything done that he had to do so that he could finish it before he left. And he did finish it. But a master only really feels love for people, and usually he when he had to scold me, and thank God it was not often, I would see that expression in his eyes as if he wished he didn't have to talk to me like that. It wasn't a personal wish, it was just like the divine wishing that I understood, hoping that I would come to understand. And when you see that, you just want to grow, you want to learn, you want to become more saintly, because that's what life is all about, to become a true lover of God and not to have any of these little qualifications of if, and, or maybe. This drinking love in all hearts. There's a story which he used to tell, and I'll be singing it for you in a few minutes, but I'll tell it also so that you get the point more quickly, although in the song it's a punchline, and it's a pity to spoil the punchline, but I'm going to do it today. There was this Negro, this black man, who was a janitor in a church in the West. And he used to clean the church every day. Then on Sunday he came with his family to worship there. And the minister of the church said, I'm so sorry, Jim, my congregation wouldn't let me accept you into the church. We're all white people here. And Jim Brown felt so badly. I gave him that name. Master didn't give him a name that I remember. But he thought, well, what's my color skin got to do with it? If you take the skin off, we're all red. It's an absurd and superficial and false kind of human discrimination. We're all one in God. And all human beings have the same capacity to know Him. We have the same nervous system, the same intelligence. It is wrong to have this kind of discrimination which you find in all countries. You know, there's a tendency to look down on lower caste or outcast people in this country. A very wealthy Indian put a lot of his wealth into one village of outcasts, to making the children educated, to giving them good jobs. The children, when they grew up to be a little bit able to say what they wanted to do with their lives, were saying they wanted to be computer technicians, they wanted to be scientists, they wanted to be all sorts of things that their elders would not have dreamed of thinking. But they are just as capable as you. If they look dumb, it's because you don't give them a chance to shine, and so they just sort of look like that. But there is, and I admit, I know, there are people here who seem more stupid than they ought to be. But I know also that if they could be encouraged, they could be brought out of that. It's the way they've been treated. And when you expect to be beaten, you're finally going to just sort of have your head hung waiting for the next blow. It's a sad thing. And anyway, in this song, and in this story that my guru told, this black man went home and knelt by his bed and prayed, why can I not worship where this white people worship? I love you, I serve you in that same church every day, cleaning it for you. Why won't you let me come into that church? And Jesus Christ appeared to him, and he said, Jim, don't feel too badly. For 20 years, I've been trying to get into that church myself, and I haven't yet succeeded. The truth is that God does not discriminate in that way. God loves all. So we need to have this thought, but many times truths can be told more clearly and more helpfully through jokes. And so my guru used to tell many jokes of all sorts of kinds, and sometimes he would laugh till the tears were streaming down his cheeks. He'd have to wipe his eyes. He was a very jolly saint when he wanted to be jolly. He was very solemn. When he didn't want to joke, nobody could make him laugh. Sometimes they tried, but he just wouldn't move. He was unpredictable and slightly scary in that way. You had to let him call the shots and then go along with it. But that was his role as the guru. It was his role to give you what he had to give. And if you started calling the shots, then what would he be able to give? I found that one weakness among Indians is they talk too much. You can't get a word in edgewise often. It would be good if they learned to listen. There's an awful lot that they could hear if they did. But when they don't want to listen and they talk all the time, then best is just to remain silent. You know, I met one up in Kanpur, and he was one of these people. He was talking all the time, and here I was, a sannyasi, and he just was so absolutely blind to everybody else's realities. He was telling me, and you know, we Hindus, we believe in what you might call it transmigration of the souls, for heaven's sake. So I tried to help him to understand that, yes, I did know something about it by telling him that I had been to the Bhrigu Samhita, which told me about my own past lives, some of them. Well, he wouldn't even let me finish. As soon as I mentioned that, yes, you see, there is this scripture, this ancient text, which is called the Bhrigu Samhita, and it gives you your past life and your future life, and I just gave up. People like that will never learn. They can be an exasperation to be around, but they're never going to learn, and they're never going to teach because nobody will listen to them. People will only listen to you if you listen to them. Otherwise, they return the compliment of ignoring them. Please do understand that if you listen more, you can receive much more even from a child, even from a dog. I'll never forget this dog, Bojo, its name was, and he was the neighbor of a friend, the dog of a neighbor of ours in 29 Palms in California. And he used to come across, jumping over the fence, and come sometimes, and when we had lunch especially. And so we were having lunch with Master one day, and it was out of doors, and Bojo was there sort of straining forward. Master said, "Look at him. He's so concentrated on the food that all his mind is focused on the spiritual eye at the point between the eyebrows. You could see the wrinkles there. Well, you see, even animals can teach you. Even stones can teach you. This is what Dattatreya said, that he had 24 gurus, and if I remember correctly, he said a stone was a guru, in the sense that was his guru once, in the sense that he saw that the stone, when it was placed there, was completely motionless. And so I learned that when I meditate, I should just sit there and not move. And it's then that I can be in that truly listening state where God can come to me. Whereas if I'm moving around, how can God come? I can't listen. Being still helps you to learn to listen. And learning to listen helps you to hear the message of the stones even, the message of the wind in the trees. The wind through the trees in a pine forest sounds somewhat like the sound of Om. And you think of that, it turns you to God. There's a story of a man who was out hunting ducks, and he had a dog with him, and he shot a duck, and the duck fell down into the water, and the dog jumped out of the boat and ran across the water and picked up the duck and ran back over the water. And the man said, "This is impossible." So he shot another duck, and the dog jumped out and ran over the water and ran back again. And the man said, "Well, I've got to have a witness to this. It's just, it's a miracle. I don't see it. How can it possibly happen?" So he had a friend come with him the next day. And the friend was sitting there in the boat with him, and this first man shot a duck, and the duck fell into the water, and the dog jumped out and went and got it. And the friend just didn't seem at all interested. And the man said, "Didn't you see what that dog did?" "Yeah, the stupid animal can't swim." Well, it is a strange thing. It didn't take a great deal of discrimination to understand that it was an unusual feat. Most people will see even miracles and say, "Oh, it's nothing. He did it with mirrors." And this is so in the life of a great master also. People don't see the greatness, not just his great teachings, the universality, his compassion, his love, his ability to know who they are and what they need. And a master will only give to the extent that people seek. And if they seek nothing, he may give a little hint. And as I say, one moment in the company of a saint will be your raft over the ocean of delusion. But that may be remembered years later. As it happened to me sometimes, he would say something and I wouldn't really understand it. And then months later I'd say, "Oh my God, that's what he was talking about." Often truths are learned in retrospect. So be open, be a listener, hear what God is trying to tell you. And so this is what happened with Jim Brown. Let me sing you this song. Joy to you. Oh, keep a level head, boys, and preach the lighter news. Don't disappoint the gentle folk. Our church needs better pews. Jim Brown was hired to clean the church. All week he kept it fair. That Sunday with his family, he came to worship there. That Sunday with his family, he came to worship there. Oh no, poor Jim, that may not be, for then there'd be a war. Our congregation are all white, and you know what you are. Our congregation are all white, and you know what you are. Back home Jim Brown knelt by his bed and wept till eyes grew dim. That night his room became a shrine for Jesus came to him. That night his room became a shrine, for Jesus came to him. He said, my child, don't feel so sad. For 20 years I too have tried to enter that very church with no more luck than you. Have tried to enter that very church with no more luck than you. Oh, keep a level head, boys, and preach the lighter news. Don't disappoint the gentle folk. Our church needs better pews.
Thank you to all of our donors for making it possible to share these videos and keep this channel ad-free. If you feel inspired to donate, visit ananda.org/give.